Yo, what is going on, agents, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Hey, in this video, I wanted to chat a bit about Tier 4 control points. How do you make them? What can you get from them? How hard are they? How many people do I need to clear one? Are they worth it? Yeah, we'll tackle all these questions right here, right now. So first, let's talk about what they are and how you make them. So, once you hit World Tier 4, you unlock the ability to escalate the difficulty of any hostile control point on the map. And you can escalate them from Tier 1 difficulty all the way up to Tier 4 difficulty. Over time, the control point will de-escalate incrementally back down to Tier 1 if you fail to clear it. You can see what the current level of any control point is just by simply looking at it on your map of DC. And it'll have a little number right next to it. It'll tell you what the current level is. A control point can be escalated by clearing hostile events close to them. So any event that can escalate a control point will be shown on your map with a narrow red line tracing back to the control point to which it corresponds. This is easy to overlook, so don't get your wires crossed. If you're trying to escalate a specific control point, you'll need to wait for hostile activities to pop up in the world that trace back to the point that you're trying to escalate. It's also worth noting that some hostile events will actually escalate the level of the control point by 2 instead of 1 tier. You can tell on the map because the hostile event will have a +1 or a +2 next to it, and that'll let you know how many levels it's going to escalate the control point, to which it corresponds. All right, so what happens to a control point when you escalate its difficulty level? Well, it's really not that complex. The higher the tier of the control point, the more elites will be in the mobs, and the harder the enemies will hit you, and the more health they'll have. Now, let me be clear about this. The difference between Tier 3 and Tier 4 is astronomical. A good player with a relatively synergistic build can probably solo a Tier 3 control point. But holy crap, Tier 4 control points are a serious challenge. They are no walk in the park. I would highly suggest that unless you have a pretty top tier build to work with, you should definitely group up with some other agents to take on a Tier 4 control point. I would recommend for an efficient clear to have 3 to 4 players in your group. If you try to challenge yourself by going in solo or with just one other person, you're basically making a Tier 4 take 2 to 3 times as long, if you clear it at all, when you could have just cleared 2 Tier 3s in the same amount of time instead. So that leads me to the next topic of conversation. Why would you want to do a Tier 4 control point? What's in it for you? All right, here's the kicker. Both Tier 3 and Tier 4 offer unique blueprints. Most people are really after those tasty 7.62 magazine upgrades and some nice suppressors as well. But like I said, those blueprints also drop when you complete Tier 3 points as well, not just Tier 4s. And as far as we can tell right now, there's no blueprint specific to Tier 4 points that you can't get in Tier 3 points. Now, that could change, I don't know, but as of right now when I'm recording this commentary, the pools appear to be the same. So that begs the question, why would you do a Tier 4 point if Tier 3 is way easier and has the same loot pool? So far, there's only 2 reasons that we can tell for you to want to do a Tier 4 over Tier 3. The first is that you get some serious XP for clearing a Tier 4. It's a great way to get those proficiency kits. The other reason is that the ground will be absolutely littered with high-end loot when you clear a Tier 4. I had about a dozen high-end drops from enemies last time I cleared a Tier 4 point. It's a great spot to just get gear dumped on you for you to sift through and see if there's anything that would go well with a build that you have or a future build that you're working on. So I guess it all boils down to what you're after in the moment. If you're farming for blueprints, just farm Tier 3s. You've got no reason not to. Just farm those Tier 3s. They're way faster, more efficient, easier to clear, and you can get all those blueprints. They're relatively quick, especially if you just got a friend or two. But if you're really just after a butt ton of gear to sift through and share with each other, hit up those Tier 4 points. It's also worth noting, I suppose, that Tier 4s also yield a ton of intel on bounties as well. Just food for thought. All right, well, I hope this was helpful for you. Hopefully you know all you need to know about escalating control points, what you can get, what to expect from them, both in terms of difficulty and reward. So best of luck to you in your endeavors. If you find something that you think might be unique to a tier 4, let me know. I mean, holler. Post in the comment section. I read all the comments. If you've managed to clear a tier 4 alone, then honestly, please upload it. Post a link in the comments with a breakdown of your build. I would love to check it out. And please feel free to let me know what your favorite builds are right now. What are you loving? How have you tooled your character? What works? What's really synergistic about your build? I'd love to know. So thanks for watching. I hope to catch you out there in the field. And if you ever want to stop by the Twitch channel, feel free to do that as well. I am The True Vanguard on Twitch. Hope to see you around. All right, take it easy. Bye-bye.